Hello, and welcome to the Teen Tech. I'm your host, Matthew Abel, and today we'll be doing a budget PC build. This is going to be a very affordable PC. Our budget is $350, and I think you could really even call this a gaming PC. You know, it's not going to be playing your latest AAA titles at 60 frames per second on Ultra, but you'll be able to play a lot of indie games, a lot of older games, around medium to high settings, and even newer games you're willing to play at 30 frames per second with, I don't know, medium or low settings. If you'd like something a little bit nicer, I'm going to be coming out with some new videos quite soon. They'll probably feature Intel processors if you're into that, if you're a big Intel fan, versus AMD, which we'll be having in this. And those will have, obviously a lot better performance, but they'll probably be more around the $500, $700 range. But, this isn't a horrible machine, and even if this is too expensive for you, I also have a $250 PC build, which isn't great, but you can still play a lot of games on that too, and a lot of indie games. The good thing about PC, there's a lot of options, and you can always just use it as a computer at the end of the day too. Browse the web, do word processing, things we need and have to do anyways. And so, that's why getting a PC and even just going through the process of building a PC and learning all that is really great. Today we're going to be going and getting all our products at Micro Center. I'm doing this for two reasons. First of all, when you go to a brick and mortar place like Micro Center, you don't have to pay shipping. So you save a lot of money there. And so it's very, I didn't want to say, oh, this is a $350 PC plus shipping, which then suddenly makes it a $400 or $425 PC. So, I really wanted to keep it around the $350 price range, including shipping, or in this case, there will basically be no shipping if you get it at a brick and mortar place like Micro Center. But if, you don't have a Micro Center near you, even though they're around the country, there are places like Newegg, places like Amazon where you can get these, and you can even have Micro Center send them to your house. For example, I think the processor and motherboard bundle we'll be getting is a really good deal today. And so it's probably the lowest price out there, and you could have them send it to you if you pay them shipping. So you always have that option as well if you want to go with what I'm showing you right now. Alright, so let's just jump into it. We will be getting, as I said earlier, a CPU and motherboard bundle. Our CPU is an AMD FX 4130 Black Edition. It is a quad-core CPU, so you can even do some video editing or other productivity things here, which it won't be great, but I think it'll really work fine. It'll get the job done. 3.8 gigahertz clock speed. I think Turbo Boost is 3.9, but we'll be using the stock heatsink, and so we won't really be in a situation to really overclock at all. I don't even think our motherboard really supports it, so I wasn't even really concerned with that. It doesn't have integrated graphics if you're interested in that, but we're gonna have a committed graphics card, so we didn't need that. So I'm going with the Asus motherboard. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's really a no-frill motherboard. I don't love it, but you know what? It's basically free in this bundle, so that's why we're going to be getting it. There's also a Gigabyte motherboard that's around the same price. The reason I went with this one is because it has one more PCI Express slot. It has two versus one. Really not that big of a deal. If you like Gigabyte more, go with them. I actually prefer Asus, Asus, not Asus. Asus a little bit more, and they are the largest producer of motherboards right now, so you really can't go wrong with going with them. The only major strife I have with this is that all the ports, you have 6 SATA ports, but all SATA 3. So if you're someone where you plan on going with a solid state drive, and you're like, oh, I really want that, and you're willing to pay extra, or you want to do that in the future, you're going to have to pay more and get another motherboard, because this only has support for SATA 3. Actually, we're not going to be getting full speed out of our hard drive either, but we're not going to be losing much, because it's just a 7200 RPM mechanical hard drive, so it's not that big of an issue. And it does have support for things such as RAID, but if you're going to put that money into a computer, then you're just going to want to get a nicer motherboard to begin with. Does support dual channel. I know a lot of people want quad channel, but in this price range, you're really not going to be going there. You are limited to 8 gigabytes of memory, but I really don't think, especially for gaming, which this is the primary purpose of this machine, and like web browsing and word processing, you don't need more than 8. We're not even having 8 in this build. So now we're going to go on to, as I mentioned earlier, our 17200 RPM hard drive. It's a terabyte hard drive, so we're going to fit a lot of meat on this. And it's quite fast. It's from Western Digital, so it will be stable. nothing great here. It's 60 bucks. It's pretty affordable. 3.5 inch, so fit in your normal slot. So there you go. Nothing too fancy there. For RAM, we're going with 4 gigabytes of DDR3, 1333 speed RAM. It's dual channel, and so basically I just looked for the cheapest thing we could find here. What is Micro Center branded RAM? I actually have that in my personal machine, and it has been really reliable. I was really surprised. I was like, ugh, I should probably go with something like Kingston, but it actually turned out very well. And it's been working very well, and it is slow speed, but we have a committed graphics card, so it's not shared RAM, so that's not very important. It's not really going to change much. And so, as I said, we have a committed graphics card. Here it is. We have the GeForce GT 630. We have the one from EVGA. They make great graphics cards. I have one of theirs in my personal rig right now, and I have a fancier one than this, but it's made by EVGA, and this is not too shabby. It is DDR3 memory, but you get 2 gigabytes of it, so it's going to be pretty fast. You can really almost think that this is a 6 gigabyte machine, because you have the 2 gigabytes here plus the 4 gigabytes in system memory. And the memory on this, I think in actual use, is a little bit faster than the system memory. I would like DDR5 or GDDR5, excuse me. But the graphic cards that carry that just aren't in our price range. Finally, nothing happening here, just the power supply. It's an Inland Bronze 80 plus certified, Bronze 80 plus certified. 550 watt ATX power supply. This will give you room for upgrading if you want to get a fancier graphics card. Nothing too crazy, but if you want to get a little bit nicer, you have that option with this one. It'll be plenty enough for this build. It's pretty cheap, pretty affordable. It's gotten good reviews. You really want to look for that in a power supply. And 80 plus bronze certified, so I'm not huge on getting 80 plus gold or platinum, but it'll definitely get the job done. And finally, we go with the case. And I actually have been using this in other builds as well, because this is just a really good, I really like Fractal Design cases, really good looking, understated case that just really will get the job done. And because people, I think, feel the urge when they're building a cheap computer to save money on the case, and that's not where you want to save money. If you get a cheapy case, it's going to ruin your build experience. You're going to be cutting your fingers, it's going to be painful, it's going to be horrible, it's just going to be an unpleasurable experience. And building a computer should be enjoyable, it should be fun. Take your time with it, enjoy it. That's what I always say when someone's going to build one. Don't rush through it, and don't get cheapy parts that are going to ruin your build. As I always would say, you can get affordable parts or low cost parts, excuse me, yeah. But never get cheapy parts or Chinese branded parts that are just going to ruin your experience and are probably going to fail on you pretty soon anyway. So, nothing much happening here. It is MATX, of course. It will support, your hard drive, up to a couple of them. It only has one fan, but really, it's going to make a natural vacuum, and that's really all you need for this system. You don't really need much else, and if you want to spend the $3, if you're really worried about cooling, and get a fan right here on the side, it's $40. It's cheap. Nothing happening here. So, drum roll, please. And the grand total of this is around $344. And so that's very affordable. We actually went a little bit below our budget today. And so, that's great. This is going to get the job done. Again, as I said, a little bit of productivity you can do with this computer. A great computer to enter into PC gaming. Build it yourself. Learn from it. It'll just be a great experience. Cheaper than the Xbox One by far. $50 cheaper than the PlayStation 4. I really think this is a great computer for first-time builders, or someone who just wants a really affordable PC, maybe for a child, or even themselves if they are new to PC gaming and just want to give it a try. Alright, well, thank you for watching this video. Again, I'm the Teen Tech. It would really help if you could like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it as well. And I'll be able to put in more and new content. Alright, thank you. This has been the Teen Tech. This is your host, Matthew Abel. Thanks for watching.